Welcome to today's special Spotlight on Success edition of Business World News. I'm Mark Risky.
And I'm Marty Johnson. We go on locations around the world and behind closed doors to show what some companies are doing to remain competitive in the ever-changing international marketplace. Entrepreneurial small businesses and self-employed individuals make up one of the largest and fastest growing sectors in the business world. But one of the biggest challenges these small businesses face, besides productivity, is appearing like they are more professional and more established than their competitors.
Thanks to an innovative communications service firm called Freedom Voice Systems, small business owners and home-based businesses can now create the type of image they want to project to their clients and increase their productivity at the same time. Pat Matthews is on the road in Encinitas, California with this report.
Cost-effective and reliable communications is perhaps the most important element in managing small business today. Most experts say the very life of your business depends on it. I have been speaking with dozens of Freedom Voice customers who represent a range of backgrounds and business experience. Some of them learned about Freedom Voice from the freedomvoice.com website. Others learned by word of mouth from friends and associates. The one thing they all have in common is the success they've found since starting with Freedom Voice.
People notice all the time that I have an 800 number, especially when I hand them my business card. People that have noticed me and have worked with me for a long time, they look and they say, "What is this? You got an 800 number? What happened? What'd you do? Join some national firm or something like that?" And I say, "No, I'm still here locally." And they say, "Well, you have an 800 number." And I say, "Of course, I want to keep in touch with my clients and keep in touch with people that I know," and they're very impressed by that.
Well, before I had my Freedom Voice system, whenever I got a request for information, I had to go select all of the information that needed to be put together. I had to make out an envelope, and I had to put it all together, and I had to take it to the post office, which took a lot of my time. Now with the Freedom Voice system, all that information is available instantly over the telephone from anybody that wants to call me on my 800 number. They can not only listen to the information, but they can get an instant fax back of the information in a printed form. And that saved me a lot of time.
The system is doing what would amount to a receptionist and a secretary and a bunch of other people all put together, all in one place, solving our problems for us. What else would you want?
Makes us look like a real company.
This is a very interactive, easy-to-use system that we couldn't have resolved this situation with manpower because we didn't have the funds to add that much staff to these young startup organizations. So the Freedom Voice Systems really helps save costs, save time, and save on spending a lot of money on staff.
My business requires me to be available 24 hours a day. If I didn't have Freedom Voice, it would be like a ball and chain on my leg, constantly got to be near a phone. But with the Follow Me system, I program in where I'm going to be and when, and the system tracks me down, often while the caller is still on the line. It is invaluable.
Freedom Voice believes they provide a level of sophistication to your business image because callers presume that they are dealing with a well-established business when they call, and are presented with a menu of automated options to choose from. For instance, if you have a sales-oriented business, you might have discovered that the first several minutes of every prospective call is the same.
Our Freedom Voice systems allow you to automatically play a variety of messages to your caller, so you can qualify them, or screen them. Once they've listened to that information, they're able to take action, which is really good. They're able to select a fax to be sent to them wherever they happen to be, leave a message, or even speak to you live. You actually don't need any particular phone equipment to use the service. Any phone that you've got will work. And the nice thing about it is the system's so sophisticated that as you're working your home-based business and maybe you have a full-time job as well, it would actually put the call through to you at work and then dial your extension so you can get the call.
One of my favorite features of the Freedom Voice system is the Follow Me Live feature. I use it all the time. In fact, just last Saturday, I was at home. A listener needed to get a hold of me for something that was very important for Monday. They called my Freedom Voice system. It went to the office. I wasn't at the office, obviously. It forwarded to the radio station. I was not at the radio station. It forwarded to my cell phone. I did not have my cell phone on, so guess what it did? It forwarded to my house. I got the call. I didn't miss it. We took care of the business in time for Monday.
It follows us regardless of whether we're in the car on the cell phone or in the office on a regular phone, or if we're standing in the middle of the ramp at an airport like we are right now. Freedom Voice can find us. And being in touch with our customers is all that matters. If you don't have customers, you don't have a business.
And we don't have a typical day. So being able to go into the web and tell it where we're going on a certain day and follow us in a different path is just absolutely perfect.
So let's say I operate a business out of my home, and I'm interested in how Freedom Voice can help me. So how do I get started?
There's a website that you can go to, freedomvoice.com, and it'll explain the different services and products. It's got a tour that takes you through the different packages. There's a Freedom Lite package and a Freedom Pro package. and then there's additional options that you can choose to fit the services to exactly what your business needs. So from here, you're able to click on either plan, get all the details of what's included in the plan, and see all the optional features that are available for each plan. The system's built flexible, so it can do a lot of different things for you, but you might come across something that we haven't anticipated. And that's one of the things we're really known for, is that we'll figure out what you need and customize the system to be able to do that for you. We've yet to see a feature that somebody's asked for that we haven't been able to provide.
All right, let's say I'm now all signed up and I have a customized system for my business. What happens if I need to make changes or update my own features? Is that possible?
Right. One of the things that's really nice about the service is we've got an option which is our WebLink web interface, and you can log on to our website and make any of the changes that you want to the system. Change your PIN codes, change your call forwarding, add numbers to call forwarding, deactivate numbers, listen to your voicemail, anything you can imagine. It's really brilliant that way. I guess about the only thing that you can't do on our website is to record the messages that go onto your voice system. We actually are working on that, but currently you can't do that. Otherwise, you can log onto the website, change every other aspect of your system, whenever and however you please.
Having an 800 number has improved our company's image. We like to look like we're a local company to local people, but at the same time, we like to look like we're bigger than we are. And by having an 800 number, I think it's helped us to have both of those images. The people locally can get a hold of us anytime they want. But I've noticed that the image of my company and how I look to people across the country and locally, it looks to them like I'm this big, huge conglomerate, when really it's just me and a couple of other people doing what we've always done.
An 800 number is vital to our image. People want to know they're dealing with an established company. And the fact that we have an 800 number implies size. It implies success, and it implies a nationwide reach for our organization.
I have a consulting company, and I work with many startup companies within the life science area, as well as some larger biotech companies as well. And they use the system for their image. Before, they were working with answering phone machines, and that does not give the image of a good, successful, professional company. So they use the 1-800 numbers for Freedom Voice Systems, and they have numbers for sales, for technical support, for accounting, and they can go through those individual departments using this phone system. It makes it appear like a good professional company, and they are more willing to do business with my clients as a result of using the Freedom Voice system.
Every Freedom Voice customer receives an 800 number as part of their service package. The company says you can even select a vanity 800 number to highlight your business for an extra fee. There's also the flexibility to purchase toll-free minutes with your package for incoming and outgoing calls in advance for as low as 4.9 cents per minute. As you've seen, the Freedom Voice system isn't complicated at all. You can transform the perception that your company has to outsiders by having an 800 number toll-free system that is automated with all the features we've been talking about.
I really can't believe how reasonable the monthly service is. Pat, are you sure you got that right?
I know it's hard to believe, but I guess this is why so many small and home-based businesses are popping up today. Companies like Freedom Voice are making it cost-effective and efficient enough to make it work. Reporting from San Diego, I'm Pat Matthews for Business World News.
Thanks for your research, Pat. We'll keep an eye on how companies like Freedom Voice Systems help stimulate the economy through small business growth and perhaps revisit this in a future story.